2024 is going to be one of the biggest years humanity has faced so far. A year full of challenges, but also a year full of immense rewards for those who are willing to fully surrender and let go and step into their mastery. I've been shown by my angels and guides that by the fall of 2024, some major events will be unfolding on planet Earth that will shock humanity out of their sleeping state, and there will be a massive spiritual awakening taking place. It seems like all of our soul lessons are coming up at a much more rapid pace because the ascension energies on planet Earth are amplifying at a very high level. Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? It's such a pleasure to connect with you today. I felt called to record this message for the collective, for all of our beautiful soul family, so we could connect, catch up, and also I would like to share some of the powerful downloads that I've been receiving from our guides for the month of December, what you can expect energetically for the month of December, as well as what is yet to come for 2024. And they have shown us some potential timelines for 2024 for our own personal lives as well as for all of humanity. And it seems very, very exciting, but there are some challenging aspects in 2024 that we need to be aware of. And this video is all about how to prepare, what to expect, and what you can do to step forward as the best version of yourself. So before we begin, let me introduce my guides. Eldora and I mainly work with a group of beings from Sirius B, known as the White Wing Line Collective of Sirius B. These are feline humanoid beings from the planet Sirius B, and they are existing in the 6th dimension. They are holding a very high level of consciousness, and they are mentors. They are spiritual mentors for humanity, and they hold a great unconditional love for humanity and wish to assist us because they have already ascended a long time ago, and they have been through all the wars and the suffering and duality as they progress through the 3rd density consciousness through 4th and 5th density consciousness. They are here to assist us, so feel free to connect with the White Wing Feline Collective of Sirius B and ask for their assistance. They would love to be your loving guides and support you with messages. And we also connect with the Pleiadian Archangel Collective, which is a group of ascended beings from the Pleiades star system. And these beings, many of us are familiar with these beings from the era of Egypt because they incarnated in Atlantis as well as Egypt. And some of the beings who we work with are Isis, Thoth, Ra, High Priest Melchizedek, Metatron, and Yeshua, as well as Mother Mary. So these beings are all here. They are chiming in. They are energetically sending frequencies and codes in this transmission. And all you need to do to receive this is open up your heart and be receptive. So let's get right into the energies of December. But before I do that, let's speak a little bit about this year 2023, because this has been a very, very fast forward, kind of rapidly moving forward year. Would you not agree? Like, when I think of the fact that I'm making a December energy update, I literally feel like, where the hell did all the time go? Because I just remember it was like January, almost like feels like yesterday it was January, and now we're in the month of December. So time is definitely moving forward very rapidly, and we've made a few videos and posts on our social media about how time is speeding up, and that is actually a phenomenon that you need to be aware of. It seems like all of our soul lessons are coming up at a much more rapid pace because the ascension energies on planet Earth are amplifying at a very high level, and this is all part of the ascension process, and this is something that we will be experiencing as a constant. That change in our lives will be moving forward more and more rapidly. This is an invitation for us to really step into our mastery, because sometimes human beings, by our nature, by default, we like the familiar. We like what's known. We don't like to venture into the unknown. We have completely shut off our feeling and our feminine wisdom, and we rely solely on our logical masculine side, which thrives on knowing the next step, knowing where to go, knowing what to do, knowing what direction to take. That has helped us so far, but moving forward, we are entering into a 5th dimensional operating system. And we've explained this in other videos, how we're moving from 3rd density consciousness into 5D consciousness. And what that really means, one aspect of that is that we're moving from an operating system where we rely only on logic to an operating system where we rely on both hemispheres of our brain. So the logical side of our brain is our left side of the brain. The right lobe of the brain is our feminine side. So what has happened over the course of evolution, originally we came to Earth millions of years ago as completely whole organic beings, and we had all of our faculties activated. We had both of our logic as well as intuition, as well as emotion, as well as all of our psychic telepathic gifts, all of our intuition. We were superhuman compared to what we are right now. We had more of our DNA strands activated, and this allowed us to be more in touch with our higher self in spirit. So when we walked through life, it was like our higher self is the conductor and we are the symphony. So the higher self was working very closely with us, and life was a masterpiece. Life was full of miracles. Life was full of opportunities and excitement, and there was no negativity for certain periods on planet Earth. But then we got infiltrated, and a group of ET beings that are dominated by logic, they descended upon our planet. And they started intermingling with us, and because of this intermingling, interbreeding, and corruption of the human DNA, we eventually lost touch with our divine feminine essence and became primarily toxic masculine race. If you ask the galactics, when they look at humanity right now, they'd see a race that is dominated by the poisoned, toxic masculine way of thinking. And if you really think about it, our society has become a patriarchal society. It is dominated by warmongering, masculine dominated kind of consciousness, and anything that is related to arts, anything that is related to femininity, anything that is related to self-expression is completely laughed at, mocked, and considered child's play or foolish. So we don't even pay attention to the feminine wisdom, which is the reason why our planet is suffering right now. And it is also the reason why we as individuals are feeling lost. Because in order for us to move forward in our life, we really need our intuition. We cannot just rely on logic. In fact, logic will deter you from your path. If you are looking for your soul's path, if you are looking for direction in 2024, if you are even looking for which direction your career will go in, which city you want to move to, what will your future look like, what will you be doing, how will you earn your income, how will you support your family, all of these things, when you make these decisions from a logical, fear-based perspective, you will be misguided because you'll always be forced to play small and stay within the comfort zone. But when we go into the feminine aspect of our wisdom, and we teach people how to access this feminine wisdom in our New Earth Mystery School, when you learn how to access all of your intuition, telepathic gifts and abilities, and activate your inner guidance and your inner compass, then truly you begin to learn how to surrender and go with the flow. And it's not so important to know the next step. It's not so important to know what's coming in the future so you can have that peace of mind. It's all about letting go and floating like a leaf floating on the river, and allowing the river of life to steer you in the right direction, and also knowing that no matter what happens, the universe has got you. So that is the first message from the angels and guides, that it is really time for those of us who are more dominated by our masculine side to take time to go inwards and get more in touch with our feminine side and really understand who we are and how do we operate and how do we access this inner wisdom that can take our lives to the next step. Because each and every one of us are looking for something. We have this inner craving that we want to achieve this kind of lifestyle where we are completely satisfied. And by that, I don't mean having millions of dollars in our bank account or having the perfect relationship. People who have made it big financially, many of them who are multimillionaires, still have a deep sense of void within their hearts because there's something missing and they can't quite put their finger on it. And even people who are really living in fulfilled relationships and they are in a loving relationship, in a stable container, in a peaceful home, even some of those people have a void within them that they cannot explain. And I'm going to share with you where that is coming from. So I'd like to begin by sharing a little bit of my own personal journey in 2023, some of the challenges and some of the lessons that I have learned. And I feel some of this will resonate because a lot of people in the collective are facing the same kind of challenges. So this is a bit of a vulnerable share, and I haven't talked about this very openly in the past because I was still going through a healing process. But in the beginning of 2023, there were two employees who worked with us, two people who worked with us in the Office of Christ. And they were people we had just met, and they seemed nice on the surface, and we allowed them into our circle and they started working with us. But during the course of our working relationship, we found out that one of these people is extremely out of integrity, meaning she wasn't showing up for her job. She would constantly miss deadlines. Anytime we would confront her with this situation and say, hey, listen, we need to really step it up. You're not even showing up, dropping the ball constantly. And we had a very pure intention that we wanted to turn things around and make this work. However, this individual's heart was not in the job and she was not performing according to our expectations. And we are very lenient with our team. We consider our team our family, and we're very easygoing, but we also like to roll up our sleeves and get the job done. And this person was simply not up to the task. So after a lot of deliberation in the beginning of 2023, we decided that we just have to let this person go. And we sent her a letter of termination saying, you go your way, we'll go ours, no hard feelings, and so on and so forth. So we ended our working relationship and ended our contract with her. But this person really got triggered when we ended our contract. Now, the second person who worked with us actually worked in our home as a homemaker. She was assisting us in our daily tasks and daily chores, and she was hired in that capacity. But being close to us is actually sometimes very triggering for people because of the intensity of light that we hold. And I'm saying this without any ego. When people who have not worked on their inner shadows, when they come close to people who really have their shit together and hold a high vibration of light, all of their shit comes up, all of their triggers come up. And that's what happened with this second person. And we thought everything was going well, but suddenly one day she decided to quit and said it's not working out, and she decided to go her own way. And we were fine with that. So we decided to end our employment, and that was that. But what we did not know was brewing behind the scenes is that these two individuals started talking to each other because their ego had gotten triggered against us. They decided that they need some sort of a revenge for being let go, and they felt that they were not being treated fairly and whatnot. So they decided to start a campaign of slander against us and started to backbite against us and start spreading negative messages in our soul family. Like, there was literally one time when we discovered they were like one-on-one messaging everyone on our social media and telling them negative things about us, which were completely not true. And when we discovered this, we were truly shocked because this is something we were completely not expecting. And what was most hurtful about this fact was that from our perspective, we had a very normal, professional, courteous, even loving relationship where we had treated these individuals very well. But the fact that they decided to go into the story of their ego and then extract revenge from us was completely uncalled for. So this happened in the beginning of 2023, and to be honest, the first 6 months of 2023, we were processing a lot of sadness from this particular situation, but in general, the sadness was towards all of humanity. And the sadness was stemming from the fact that we have done nothing to deserve this kind of treatment, and why are we being attacked for no apparent reason? So we're the kind of people that really look at the spiritual reason behind everything. So this situation led to a lot of healing for us. A lot of our wounds came up. Ancient wounds that we had held within our light bodies for lifetimes showed up. The wound of not being able to trust people you consider your own family, and the wound of being attacked, and the wound of being misunderstood, and the wounds of having other people's negative projections thrown at you and without any accountability being taken from those people. So to be honest, 2023 was a year of deep, deep healing. So when we healed some of our surface emotional wounds of hurt and went into the spiritual reason behind this incident, we realized that humanity is not at a level where they can take accountability for themselves. And we realized that we too have to make some changes in the way we address people, in the way we hold people accountable, because we speak to everyone as if they're leaders. When we see someone being inconsistent, we bring it up very factually in a loving way, but also in a very firm way. Like, you really need to correct this. You cannot continue to work in our vortex unless you're a master and take accountability and show up for your job. Really basic things were missing, that if you're not even showing up for your job, why are you here, right? From our perspective, giving this feedback was actually constructive criticism. And we realized that because we're dealing with egos, sometimes when you are too straightforward and give feedback, the narcissist side of the ego activates, and they don't want to acknowledge anything wrong they've done. Instead, they just want to blame everything on you and make you look like a bad person. And that's fine. We cut cords. We did not engage with them. We did not even send them any bad wishes. In fact, we completely forgave them and just cut ties because we realized that is the best way energetically to move forward without any karma. The reason I'm mentioning this is that a lot of people right now are going through their spiritual awakening. And as we go deeper into our spiritual awakening, we become more authentic, we become more genuine, we become more compassionate, we become more straightforward, and we begin to speak our mind, and we don't filter our truths anymore. And many people may be realizing that as their light grows brighter and brighter in intensity and they become more authentic, sometimes your authenticity, your truth, and your light vibration is too much for others because they are not ready for you. They are not ready to receive your intensity. They're not ready to face the truth of their shadows. And if you even give other people who are in their ego loving, constructive criticism, instead of taking it constructively and using it as an opportunity to step up in their ascension ladder, they choose to completely flip the script against you and completely reject everything you're saying and project it back on you. And this causes a lot of clashes. So many people walking their spiritual path right now are in this state of deep sense of sadness for humanity, because we are becoming more authentic and loving and compassionate, but humanity is not there to match us. Humanity is not there to match our frequency. And there's very few people who are doing enough of the inner work that you can be yourself around them without triggering them. And this gives us sometimes a sense of feeling lonely on this path, and deep sense of loneliness and sadness for humanity, wishing that why isn't humanity where we are? Why can't people be nice, loving, and compassionate? Why can't people just be honest about their feelings without having to result in an argument and a fight? So this is all currently coming up in the collective, and most of this year for many people has been all about these deep spiritual lessons that are rooting from many incidents that may have taken place in your life, where you may be clashing with friends, you may be clashing with co-workers, you may be clashing with your family members, and you realize that you are changing, but others around you are not changing to meet your frequency. This has been the crux of 2023. 2023 has all been about our soul's preparation for 2024. 2023 has all been about learning all of the lessons, all of the finer ego lessons, all of the lessons of how to deal with humanity, all of the lessons of who you are becoming, and where you are going, and becoming a more authentic version of yourself. So when I asked our guides about the year 2024, they said 2024 is going to be one of the biggest years humanity has faced so far. And they didn't show me exactly in terms of this will happen or that will happen, neither do I care to know. I like to experience life unfold in the moment without knowing all the answers. But the energetic imprint that I received about 2024 from my guides was that this is going to be a year full of challenges, but also a year full of immense rewards for those who are willing to fully surrender and let go and step into their mastery. So let me explain that a little bit. So the angels are saying that the first step that we need to take in order to prepare ourselves for 2024 is to take a lot of time for solitude and self-reflection in the month of December. What they're basically stating is that the month of December is not a period to start your new projects or go deep into starting something new or looking for a new career or creating your new course. So the angels are saying that 2024 is going to be a year full of many rewards as well as challenges. And the rewards are mostly going to be there for people who are really facing their fears, people who are really facing their shadows and taking responsibility for every single thing that's happening in our lives. Let's say, for example, if you got laid off from your job and it was a shock to you, one choice you can make is to blame it all on your employer and say, he's a bad person and I have no lessons to learn in this. But at the same time, another wiser, more mature perspective would be to really go and do some inner work before you start looking for another job even, and realize what were some of the lessons that I needed to learn in this job, and what can I change within myself so that I don't repeat these lessons in the future. So people who are really willing to look at themselves are the ones who are thriving in the next few years. And people who are just pushing away blame and responsibility onto others are the ones who are going to find these coming years the most challenging. And this is the crux of the message today. It is time for us to take responsibility for every single aspect of our lives and really step up as responsible human beings and get all aspects of our lives in order, whether it comes to your career, whether it comes to your relationship, whether it comes to your finances or your relationship with your children. And the most important relationship is with yourself. So all of these things have to be brought into balance, and that is our spiritual curriculum for 2024. One more thing I wanted to share with you is that many of you who are watching this message, you are the kind of people who are on your soul's path. You are the ones who are doing the deep inner work. You are the ones who are facing the challenges rather than shying away from them. And you are the ones facing your fears and looking at them in the eye. And you are making the tough choices and letting go of your addictions, letting go of your shadows, letting go of all aspects of your life that are not serving you and moving into a better, higher version of yourself. But one of the messages that the angels wanted to share with you is in the month of December, take some time off because you have grown so much in 2023 that you are no longer the same person who you were in the January of 2023. So the month of December is all about self-reflection, okay? So let's take a moment to absorb that. The month of December is all about self-reflection. And what do I mean by that? Self-reflection really means it's time for solitude. It's time to come to terms with who you have become. It's time to shut off our phone and take some time off from our family and go into a solo retreat if you can afford to go on one, or even meditate in solitude for a couple of hours a week and really get in touch with your soul's essence. And this is becoming extremely important right now because you have processed so many lessons in 2023 that you have changed at a fundamental level. You have shed so many layers, you are uncovering more of your soul's most authentic essence. And it is now time to really process all of these lessons, reflect on what you did in 2023 that you could have done better, what mistakes you made that you don't wish to repeat, what lessons you learned, and what is the wisdom you gained from them. And generally speaking, once we take time in solitude, once we take time to go alone in nature and meditate and go completely in stillness and silence for extended periods of time without our phone distracting us, without our family and friends distracting us, that's truly when we get in touch with our soul's essence and get in touch with a version of us who's going to step forward in 2024. So let's consider the possibility of what would happen if you, instead of going inwards in stillness and solitude, you took all of this time of December to invest in new projects and to start planning your next year and to start looking for a new career or whatever it is that drives you. Energetically speaking, the month of December will not support that. Energetically speaking, those who are banging their head and trying to move forward in December without going in solitude are going to face a lot of resistance. So energetically speaking, the month of December is all about grounding your lessons and doing a lot of inner work, journaling, and self-reflection. And mainly this is because we have healed so many emotional wounds in 2023. We have shed so many layers of our trauma, and we have shed so many layers of our false ego identity in 2023 that we are no longer the same person. And to be in stillness is the only way we can get in touch with the true soul essence of who we are and who we are going to become in 2024. And one of the most common things that I personally experience is that sometimes we master our soul lessons, and sometimes, let's say we let go of an addiction to chocolate or eating fast food. And even though we may no longer crave those things that we used to be addicted to in the past, sometimes the mind kicks in and the mind says, you know what, let's go back and try that chocolate ice cream again. Or, you know what, I've already mastered this lesson and I can go back and quit anytime, so I can indulge myself. So what happens is that sometimes our ego mind tricks us into falling back into old patterns. And this is what our angels most wanted to encourage us not to do. They're reminding us that if you have already mastered soul lessons, and our soul lessons are moving forward very rapidly right now. Psych yourself up that curriculum is done and you are leaving it behind in 2023, and you're not going to be reopening those old topics in 2024. Even if you have broken up with an old flame, even if you've had a recent breakup and you have this urge to just pick up the phone and call your ex and maybe explore if there's still a possibility of you two hooking up again. All of these things are your ego mind tricking you, because the mind only likes what's familiar. When you start making too many changes in your life at a rapid pace, your ego gets shocked and it says, oh no, this is unknown territory. This is too much for me. I don't have a safety net anymore and I don't know where this is going. So I'm going to go back to what's familiar and what feels good to me. So it'll try to pull you back into calling your ex again or going after that same high of the addiction that you've left behind in 2023. Or it'll tell you those friends that you no longer talk to, just pick up the phone and see, maybe you want to meet up with them during the holidays. But deep down at the core level of your soul, you already know those are dead ends, and you already know that you left those timelines behind for a reason. So why complicate your life? Why aggravate yourself and have to discover the hard way that these things that you've left behind are not for your highest good? They're not supporting you. And the best way for you to move forward is to completely burn all these negative cords with the people you've left behind, completely forgive them, cut ties, and affirm to yourself, I am no longer playing small. I am no longer going back and opening old karmic loops that I have already closed. I am no longer going back to the same addiction patterns that I have let go of. And our angels and guides are reminding us that this is very important. Moving forward in the positive direction and not looking back and not repeating our same old karmic patterns is extremely important right now, because in 2024, big shifts are coming for humanity. Very major changes are about to occur for planet Earth. So I've been shown by my angels and guides that by the fall of 2024, some major events will be unfolding on planet Earth that will shock humanity out of their sleeping state, and there will be a massive spiritual awakening taking place by the end of 2024 and into 2025. When they give me the energetic imprint of 2025, it seems more optimistic and more upbeat and more in a positive direction, where the economy will be doing well. Many people will be exploding in their abundance and in their success. And these are the people who are putting in the work right now, today, and have been putting in the work for the last couple of years. But if you feel you're one of those who are stagnating, it is still not too late. You can still get your act together. All you need to do is reaffirm your commitment to pursuing the path of your soul relentlessly and fearlessly. Ask your angels, ask your guides to connect with you, and they are reminding you that you have an army of angelic beings of light there to support you in every way possible. So ask for their assistance, connect with them on a daily basis, ask them for guidance and wisdom for any aspect of your life that may feel challenging or daunting, and they will be there for you. They will be there for you, and you are not alone. And another big theme that's being shown to me about 2024 is about new earth communities forming. And as many of you know, we have our own 5D community known as the New Earth Mystery School. We have a very beautiful private group in Discord for all the people who join our membership at nems.love. And having a support system of loving, like-minded people around you can be one of your biggest tools and allies, because we are not meant to go through the journey of life alone. Many of us who are going through a spiritual awakening begin to feel lonely because maybe we've cut ties with our family, maybe we've cut ties with our old friend, and we don't resonate with humanity as much, and it becomes lonely. That loneliness can sometimes lead to depression or feeling unworthiness or feeling out of place and feeling like you don't belong on this planet, and this sense of I no longer want to be here. And it leads to the state of being in life where you are not fully committed to life on earth. And you're just like sitting on the fence watching what's happening and waiting for all of this drama to unfold and be over with. But you see, you're really shortchanging yourself if you're not throwing your hat in the ring. Our true purpose for incarnating on earth is not to live life in a half-assed fashion. It is to live life in its wholeness. It is to strive to be the best version of yourself. It is to relentlessly pursue and discover what ignites you, what sets your soul on fire, what are you passionate about, and really pursue those directions. And that is the best way to experience joy and fulfillment out of life. The people who are sitting on the fence and saying, when will all of this be over? That's a sure shot recipe for disaster, because if we are in avoidance of life, then life will become more challenging. But if we embrace life with open arms, that's when the universe truly embraces you and showers you with all of the gifts and blessings that you've been waiting for. So this is a time to really step up and invest in yourself, invest in self-development courses, read books, go to meetups, join groups, join awakening conferences and seminars. There's many gatherings on our planet right now where awakening people are meeting each other. Like our House of Ra New Earth Music Festival is one such gathering. And by the way, we're planning to have New Earth Music Festival in Tulum in 2024. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be very exciting. And there's going to be hundreds of light workers from all over the world, beautiful, beautiful beings who come together to dance in a sober, safe environment, to enjoy life, to receive very powerful spiritual activations from our angels, and to make lifelong friends. And this is what New Earth is all about. It's all about these connections that we're forming and forming a new support group of like-minded people so you can really begin to explore new ideas and new ways of being and form new communities. And really, you may be realizing that the density of the city grid that you're living in is no longer vibrating with the depths of your soul, because your soul is ascending. And as your soul raises its frequency, as you become more self-aware and you increase your light quotient, you will experience that dense city grids are no longer making you feel fulfilled. In the beginning, you won't be able to quite put your finger on it, but you'll feel like, why am I feeling depressed all the time? Why am I the only one who's smiling at everyone and everybody else is dark and gloomy? When you walk on the street, people literally don't even make eye contact. People don't even hold the door for you. People don't even say hello in the elevator. Why is all this happening? It's because you're changing. It's not that everybody else is changing. The world has always been this dark and gloomy. In 3D, people have a separation consciousness and they don't have the same light within their soul that you do. So sometimes we develop this sense of sadness that, why am I the only one who's being a beacon of light and everybody else just wants to take from me? Why aren't there more people like myself who are willing to share unconditionally and share their laughter and joy and just be pure, happy human beings? And if you're feeling this way, this is a sure shot indicator from your soul, from your higher self, that it's time to move to a new place. It's time to move to a new community that is of a higher vibration. And when you ask where are these high frequency communities all around the world, you will only discover them when you are in touch with your own soul's frequency. I cannot give you the answer of where to move, because that may be true for me, but it may not be true for you. But there are many powerful vortices on our planet that are energetically so uplifted that living in these places, you'll feel a constant state of joy and expansion and elation. And in next year, 2024, moving away from cities that are dense and moving into places that are more attuned to your soul's frequency will be a big thing. It'll be a theme in 2024. Many people will be migrating out of their hometowns, out of their home countries even, and moving to new locations, moving to new eco-villages, moving to new 5D New Earth communities, and forming new bonds and new kinds of relationships that we haven't even seen before. And as a result, what I also see unfolding in 2024 is that the nature of our relationships will be changing. So in the past, your relationships were based on whoever's around you. Like if you go to high school, then your relationships will be the people in your high school. If you are at work, then your co-workers will be your friend. And when you come home, you'll be dealing with your family. But in 5D New Earth, which is what we're moving towards, all of these linear relationships will be disintegrating, and new kinds of relationships based on frequency, based on soul's vibration and the law of attraction. These are the kind of friendships and bonds that will go stronger. Sometimes you just may meet a stranger in a spiritual retreat and become lifelong friends. And sometimes you may meet someone who's 20 years younger than you, but they're having such an enlightened conversation and they're such free, open-minded spirits that you feel like, oh my God, this person can be my best friend. So in the past, you would never just start talking to strangers who are 20 years younger than you, but in 5D New Earth, you will see new kinds of friendships and bonds being formed all the time. And this actually is happening to us in Tulum, which is a very high-powered vortex full of very refined angelic frequencies. And Tulum is also blessed by the sacred underground waters of the cenotes, which are ancient waters that are considered sacred by the people of this land. And these waters waters are amplifiers. These waters represent the womb of creation. They represent the womb of Mother Earth, and the water held within the cenotes represents the amniotic fluid of Mother Earth. So all in all, what that means is that Tulum is a very powerful manifestation vortex. And because it's such a powerful vortex, all the people who are living here, even though they may not be spiritually awakened, but every single time I interact with someone in Tulum, I've always found them to be very heart-centered, very nice, very loving, very authentic, very jovial, very easygoing, very easy to get along with, very welcoming. And this is all part of the frequency of this location. So similar to Tulum, there are many similar vortices all around the planet that you can look into and look for high frequency energetic vortices, because the communities that form around these vortices are naturally very uplifting and they're naturally very loving. And you will find a sense of belonging when you move to these communities, and you'll know which one is right for you. Now, one final theme for 2024 that I've been shown by my angels and guides and I wanted to share with you is about the rising of the divine feminine. And right now, there's a huge movement taking place on our planet of the feminine consciousness rising in her power. And this is mainly happening because of the frequential changes that Earth is going through. As we've mentioned in some of our other videos, that our planet is going through a process of evolution and ascension. And as a result, because our planet is ascending, humanity in general is also evolving at a very rapid pace. And one of the things that has happened on our planet in the past couple thousand years is the suppression of the feminine energy. And the main consciousness that rules our planet currently is that of the toxic masculine. And you will notice that this kind of toxic masculinity is very visible in our leadership of all the countries. This is leading to all of the toxic masculine narcissist nature of our politicians is leading to so much war and chaos and so much manipulation by our media and so much toxicity. And our world has become all about seeking pleasure and seeking shortcuts. Our healthcare industry is toxic, our banking industry is toxic, our financial industry is toxic, our governments are toxic, even our food industry is toxic with all these GMOs and pesticides. This is all taking place because the divine feminine has been suppressed. And the reason that the divine feminine has been suppressed for so long is because the feminine contains the seed of consciousness. The feminine contains the seed of evolution and awakening. And the minority of people who wanted to stay in power and control all of the resources of this planet to enslave humanity, they have systematically rigged the system so that the divine feminine stays suppressed. And as a race, we've been brainwashed to think that the divine feminine is weak and the toxic masculine is powerful, and that you display your power through your might, through your force, through brute force, and through overpowering others. And this is happening on a global scale where countries going to war with each other, and this is also happening on an individual level, on a mass level, where so many women are being abused. And the fact that our planet is ascending, our planet is also divine feminine consciousness. Earth is actually a divine feminine being, and her soul is known as Gaia. And Gaia is our mother. That's why we call Earth Mother Earth. She provides for us. She produces our food. She nurtures us. She cares for us. And our planet has supported this toxic masculine system of division and separation and war and hatred for so long that she can no longer tolerate this separation consciousness, and she is moving forward with her evolution. And this is also causing a rise in the divine feminine in humanity. So what that really means is that the divine feminine in all the women as well as all the men is rising. If you look at the overall bigger picture, the men are actually lagging behind in their spiritual evolution because we have over the years put on more of our toxic masculine armor in order to survive. But women by nature are more in touch with their feminine essence, with their feelings, with their inner nature, with their soul's call, with their inner soul's voice. And the divine feminine by its very nature is very loving and compassionate and giving, and she constantly sacrifices herself to support the masculine. But also right now there's a sacred rage rising within women because their identity has been suppressed for so long that right now there's a roaring lioness that's emerging from within the depths of their soul, asking to express her fiercest authentic voice. She no longer abides by the rules of this old dysfunctional earth where she has been suppressed, and she's tired of waiting. She's moving forward with her evolution. And to all the women who are listening to this message, you may be feeling a deep urge at a soul level to completely go into isolation and hibernation in the month of December, and to get in touch with your feminine essence and your feminine power, and to get in touch with your new identity as a fierce, powerful goddess who is not codependent, who does not give her power away to the narcissistic, toxic masculine, but rather she supports herself. She does not rely on anyone but herself to support herself, and she is capable of anything that she puts her mind to. And if this is you, then the month of December and most of the beginning of 2024 will really urge you on a soul level. The energies will really urge you at a soul level to really detach and go into hibernation, to go into solitude, to meditate by yourself, to take yourself out on dates, to go on a solo date and spend time journaling, to meditate for long extended periods of time, to get in touch with your soul's essence, and to realize that there's no force on earth that can hold you back but yourself. And once you let go of your self-created shackles and limitations, the divine feminine will truly roar like a lioness in 2024. And at the same time, this is an invitation for the divine masculine to rise. 2024, it is becoming direly important for all divine masculines to take their roles as the guardians, the warriors, the providers, the protectors. And right now there's a call for all of the men on planet Earth to really dig deep and to let go of the armor that you have accumulated for thousands of years, to get in touch with your feelings and to begin to express a more authentic, loving, nurturing, balanced, powerful, wise, compassionate human being that you truly are at your soul level. A person who truly respects the divine feminine and supports her in any way that she asks for. Because in the ascension architecture, the way this ascension is designed, the divine masculine is supposed to be the space holder for the divine feminine to birth this new earth. And she cannot do this alone without your support. Both of the components of the fully healed divine masculine and the fully healed divine feminine, when they come together in their power and rise as pillars, that is when we're truly going to witness new earth being birthed in our reality. So I hope this message helped you to get a clearer picture of the energies of the month of December and most of the energies for the upcoming year of 2024. So just to recap, December is the time where the energies are most supportive for those who wish to go in solitude and self-reflection, and to really close all the old loops, all the old karmic ties, all the old attachments to our addictions, and all the old dysfunctional, distorted, toxic behavioral patterns. All of that, what we've left behind, all of the soul's work that we have done in 2023. The month of December is all about closing these loops, self-reflecting, and filing away all of these soul's lessons so we don't repeat them in 2024. And 2024 is truly going to be one of the most electric years. It's going to be a year of many positive changes taking place. There may be a lot of chaos, there may be some shocking news coming in 2024, but there will also be immense opportunities for growth. So this is a reminder from your angels and guides to really dedicate some time for yourself and set some intentions, do some journaling work, set some intentions for what it is you wish to achieve in 2024. Not to start any new projects, but start to visualize what it is you wish to achieve in all aspects of your life. And this is also a reminder from your angels and guides to connect with them on a regular basis and ask for assistance. And they're saying that they cannot assist unless we specifically ask them and connect with them and cultivate a positive relationship with them that only goes stronger, that only grows stronger with time. Thank you for listening from the bottom of my heart, and until we meet next time, adios.